Students, before we start our class, our topic, I want to ask you about a previous topic. Uh, cardiac cycle, ECG. Yes? So students, from your group, okay. How many students? 1, 2, 3, 4. Adnan Farzand. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Hassan Nadim.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Muhammad Shahan.
Yes, ma'am.
Muhammad Shahan. And Sania Arif.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Sania Arif. So 4. Okay, from cardiac cycle. Yes. How many periods there are in one cardiac cycle? What is systole? What is diastole? Yes. What is systole? What is diastole? Adnan Farzand? Turn on your camera and please answer. What is systole and what is diastole? Adnan Farzand, are you here? Please turn on your camera and tell me what is systole and what is diastole. Shahan Muhammad. Yes, Shahan Muhammad. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is systole and what is diastole?
Ma'am, I have not revised.
No, I'm asking simple questions. What is systole and what is diastole? I am not asking what is the period of isovolumic contraction. Yes, I'm just asking simplest questions. Yes, today we are completing cardiovascular system. And if you don't know what is systole and what is diastole, then what was the reason? Yes, that we pass. Yes, that we study cardiac vascular system. Yes, Sania Arif.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me please, what is diastole?
Ma'am, cardiac cycle has 2 periods. One is diastole and one is systole.
What is diastole?
Diastole is the period in which the heart muscle relaxes and refills with blood. And systole is a period of robust contraction and pumping of blood.
Yes. Good. During diastole, ventricles are filled with blood.
Yes,
During
ma'am.
systole, ventricles pump the blood. Yes?
Yes,
Simply,
ma'am.
you can say this. Okay. And what is the blood pressure in ventricles during systole and during diastole? Sanyari, please turn on your camera. What is the blood pressure? Normal blood pressure.
Ma'am, I don't know about blood pressure in ventricles.
About blood pressure in arterials.
What, ma'am?
What is average blood pressure? Arterial blood pressure.
Sorry, ma'am.
Have you ever measured blood pressure, students? Do you have apparatus, tonometer? Yes, we call this tonometers, through which we can measure blood pressure. Have you ever measured blood pressure, students? No, not yet. Yes. Come on, students, I'm just asking. From my interest, yes, I'm just interested if you ever measured blood pressure. Have you ever measured blood pressure? No? What happens if your blood pressure becomes too low? Too low, it means yes, less than 90/60. Less than 90/60. What happens with you? Too low blood pressure, it means what? Students, is the pressure so important? Blood pressure, it is important factor in hemodynamics. Come on, students, everyone turn on your camera. Saniya Arif Abrar Khan. Saniya Arif Abrar Khan. Adnan Farzan, please everyone turn on your camera. Mirza Jawad. Mirza Jawad. Accent. Anasullah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, everyone, please turn on your camera. I want to see all of you. And yes, tell me what happens if your blood pressure decreases too much low. Yes, too much low. Less than 90/60. For example, yes, 80/50 or 70/40, like this. So if you, yes, if you did read, yes, you would know this, because today is topic is regulation of functions, yes, cardiovascular functions, how they are regulated: blood pressure, blood flow, heart rate, and etc. Yes, what happens if your blood pressure decreases up to 80/50, for example, or it is normal? What is the normal value of blood pressure? Yes, Anasula?
Yes, ma'am. What?
Normal value of blood pressure.
Ma'am, it is 120 80
120
millimeter
over
of,
80. Mhm.
yes, ma'am, of mercury.
So, yes, I'm asking what happens if your blood pressure decreases up
Ma'am,
to
when blood pressure decreases, there will be low supply of oxygen and nutrients and electrolytes. If required, a low supply of lymphocytes, and it will cause damage to the heart and as well as brain.
yes, there will be decreased blood flow in all parts of your body. Yes, and how it is brought back to normal pressure. Because if it is very continuous, yes, if your body doesn't do anything in this case, then there will be ischemia. Yes, ischemia of the brain, heart, yes, kidneys. Then it is a very dangerous condition. To prevent that, your body tries to bring back to normal, yes, blood pressure. So this, how this is achieved? Yes.
What, ma'am?
How your blood pressure is brought back to normal?
No idea, ma'am. Maybe by exercising or
Ma'am,
some treatment.
Exercising?
Yes, ma'am. When your blood pressure is too low, then you can exercise, and by exercise you can increase your blood pressure. As I think.
When you start to exercise, then all blood flows to your muscles. Yes, and you, I think, yes, you will not able to exercise at this moment. Yes, because blood pressure is very too. Yes, and you may be unconscious even, because brain is very sensitive to hypoxia. Yes. You will have hyperventilation, vomiting, muscle, how to say, shivering. Yes, it is. If your blood pressure is too low. And how your body brings this blood pressure back to normal. So we have two systems which regulate blood pressure. Yes, not only blood pressure, all the functions. This is first, it is nervous system, and second is your endocrine system. So nervous system, when your blood pressure decreases below 90, yes, mine 90, then it causes what? Yes, we have receptors. Yes, receptors in the walls of the blood vessels. We have receptors which sense the blood pressure. And yes, if it becomes less, they sense this and send signals to the brain. Yes, in the brain we have centers which control heart functions and blood vessel conditions. Yes. And then from these centers, there will be a command, send the command to blood vessels, And there will be what kind of reaction? What kind of response? What kind of reaction causes an increase in blood pressure? Yes, students. If these physiological factors can't increase your blood pressure, then you will inject medicines, yes, medicines to increase your blood pressure. So,
Ma'am, I have a question. What are the medication that increase your blood pressure when you have low blood pressure?
Yes. I can say what? Adrenaline, yes. Adrenaline, dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine.
Ma'am, some amount of salt can also be used to increase the blood pressure.
Yes, when you retention of high salt, yes, salt in large amount, it also increases blood pressure. Why?
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Can you explain me?
Ma'am, I have heard that the sugar can also increase your blood pressure. Is it?
Sugar? Sugar can increase blood pressure. Directly, no, directly it can't increase blood pressure. But doctor will be secreted. Look, sugar, yes, sugar. Directly it can't, but through hormones, when we have high sugar, there will be insulin, yes, insulin. Growth hormone. No, students, no. Sugar cannot increase blood pressure. You mean high sugar, yes? No. So, Muhammad Shahan, can you explain why when you take more salt, there will be increase in blood pressure? Yes, this is also a topic of today's class. Simply when you eat salty meals, yes, your blood pressure can rise. Yes, can be increased up to 20 millimeters of mercury. I mean, yes, plus 20. If it was 110, yes, it can increase to 120, 130 millimeters of mercury.
Yes, ma'am.
So why? Can you explain how it can be increased?
Ma'am, because salt contains sodium in it, and to dissolve that sodium, water level increases in our blood, and that's why uh, the blood pressure also rises. In some people, not in all.
No, almost in all students, almost in all, this is physiological reaction to salt retention. By increasing blood volume, yes, when you take salt, intake salt in large amount, salt, sodium. Yes, sodium. It is salt. It means sodium. Sodium chloride. Yes, sodium chloride. So sodium chloride, it always obtains water. So yes, when you have increased sodium and chloride concentration in the blood, it also obtains water from your from kidney tubules. Yes, reabsorption of water, and so in the blood there will be increased water concentration and sodium concentration. So it means simply there will be increase in the blood volume. So when blood volume is increased, of course, blood pressure also increases. Yes,
Yes,
simply,
ma'am.
yes, we can explain like this. So if we explain this, detail it, then of course, what we should know which hormone regulates sodium concentration in the blood. Yes, which hormone regulates water osmolarity of the blood. Yes, you would tell me about aldosterone. Yes, angiotensin, aldosterone system, vasopressin. Yes, you would tell about me, or you will tell me about this. Okay, this is about blood pressure. Yes, and mm, and opposite, when you have high pressure, blood pressure, is it dangerous when you have high blood pressure? Let's imagine it is 190 or yes, 200 millimeters of mercury over 100 or 110. This is very high blood pressure, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
200 over 110.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, this is high blood
It's
pressure.
high,
Yes,
high blood pressure.
it is very high blood pressure.
Yes.
Is it dangerous? Do you know the people who has this pressure, blood pressure?
Yes, ma'am. It's very dangerous.
For example, yes, not my what father, my mother's, sorry, my husband's mother has this kind of pressure, yes, and
Oh,
she feels herself normally. Can you
yes,
imagine?
yes, ma'am.
But
My
yes,
father also has the same problem.
so it is not so dangerous, or it is dangerous. How do you
Ma'am,
think?
if it's the value which you have told 200 by 100, it's very dangerous because it is very high
Mhm.
blood pressure.
What
This
happens?
this
Yes,
kind of
why it is so
high,
dangerous?
ma'am, this kind of high blood pressure can cause strain on blood vessels, pressure on blood vessels, as well as some important organs of the human body, like eyes, like kidneys.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Some of the important blood vessels may even burst because of this severe blood pressure.
mm-hmm. Yes,
It
there can
also
be
increases
hemorrhages.
the
Yes. Mm-hmm,
risk of myocardial infarction or heart
yes.
attack.
Yes, so it is dangerous. That's why um, your
So,
body should, your body must bring back to normal. Yes, this blood pressure. If
yes, ma'am.
your body can't bring back to normal, then doctors should bring, yes. So what kind of um, to to bring back to normal this pressure in your body? will happen? What kind of activities? Actions, yes, what kind of actions in your body will be to bring back to normal?
Ma'am, long-term activities or at the spot?
No, it's, I mean, not conscious, unconscious actions of your body that this, because functions of cardiovascular system, it is regulated by autonomic nervous system, yes, which is not under our control. Yes, autonomic nervous system, it is not under our control. All visceral organs, they are controlled by autonomic nervous system. Yes, you cannot command your stomach, for example, to digest or not digest. Yes, it does it by itself. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Or your intestines, for example, to increase his movement, and yes, you cannot command, yes, them. It means that they are
Yes.
not under your control. So, so cardiovascular system is also under not under our control, and it is controlled by autonomic nervous system. And what kind of actions does it do to bring back to normal blood pressure?
Ma'am, it dilates the blood vessels, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
so that the pressure can be reduced. Moreover, mm, if the
Mm-hmm.
blood viscosity is lowered, then also the blood pressure can be reduced.
Blood viscosity low. What do you say about blood vessel or blood viscosity?
If the blood viscosity is lowered, it means like thin blood,
Mm-hmm.
then the blood pressure is lowered.
Ah, yes. First of all, there will be vasodilation. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
to decrease total peripheral resistance. Yes, there will be vasodilation, and yes,
Ma'am, ma'am, what is called when your blood vessel dilate?
again.
Ma'am, I'm saying that when your blood vessel dilate, this condition, what is this condition? I mean, what is called it?
Vasodilation, you
It's
mean?
No, ma'am, when your blood vessel dilate.
All blood vessels.
it's called vasodilation.
No, you mean when there is a vasodilation of all blood vessels? You mean, yes?
No, ma'am. Any blood vessel when dilate in your body. I think I'm not sure that it is sometimes called ischemia. Am I right?
No, no, students, no. Ischemia, you mean it? No, it's different, students. Ischemia, it is different. Yes, it can be due to low blood pressure, yes, also, but it doesn't mean that they are the same, yes? Ischemia, it is what? Due to lack of oxygen and tissue, and they have what dysfunctions in their metabolism, yes? Ischemia, it means lack of oxygen, and that's why tissue, they mm,
Ma'am, maybe ischemia, a reduction in blood flow resulting in decreased oxygen and nutrient supply to the tissues.
Yes. When we have decreased pressure, yes, yeah, not always pressure, but yes, this also can be decreased blood flow and decreased supply, yes, blood supply, and decreased oxygen levels, nutrient levels, and there will be disorders of tissue metabolism. Okay, this is another what we were discussing about blood pressure. Yes, vasodilation causes decreased blood pressure and decreased viscosity. Yes, decreased viscosity due to what? Due to increased urination. Yes, when we have increased filtration of blood, yes, more plasma is excreted. Yes, more water excreted, and that's why, yes, there will be decrease in the sorry, not decrease in the increase in the hematocrit. Yes, you mean this one? Yes, by saying increased viscosity. Yes, when we have decreased blood volume, it also causes decreased blood pressure. Okay, to decrease blood pressure, what your body tries to vasodilate, yes, to cause vasodilation of all blood vessels and to increase excretion of water from your body. Yes, there will be increased filtration in your kidneys. Yes, that's why when we have hypertension, very high hypertension, then doctors administer what vasodilators, vasodilators, and also diuretics. Yes, diuretics that will increase filtration in the kidneys and decrease blood volume. So blood pressure will be decreased. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now we said this only in how to say, in simple terminology. But if we say detailed one, we should know what hormones, receptors, yes, organs which secrete, which are achieved in this process, involved in this process. Vasodilation, it is due to which mechanism, students, who knows? What causes vasodilation? What causes vasoconstriction and what causes vasodilation? Who can describe mechanisms of that? Only Anasullah and Muhammad Shahan. Yes, what about others? Abrar Khan. Epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, yes, dopamine. They cause vasoconstriction. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
How?
Ma'am, about vasodilation or vasoconstriction?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because vasodilation and vasoconstriction depends upon the concentration of these hormones. If it is increased, it will cause vasoconstriction. If they are increased, then they cause vasodilation. We don't have
Yes, ma'am.
receptors which cause direct vasodilation on the blood vessels. We don't have.
Yes, ma'am. There are no receptors in blood vessels.
Yes, we have only receptors which cause vasoconstriction. Yes, substances bind with this receptor and cause vasoconstriction. But
Yes.
receptors to which bind substance and cause vasodilation, there is no any kind of this. So we don't have drugs which cause vasodilation. There is what only, I mean direct, only what secondary, yes, through the secondary way they cause vasodilation, but direct they cannot cause vasodilation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So epinephrine, norepinephrine, how do they act on blood vessel wall? We have receptors, yes, students, adrenergic receptors. Так, where is my adrenergic receptors? Do you know them, students? Adrenergic and noradrenergic. Блин. Так. Students, in next our practice class, we start respiratory system. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, please prepare first topic. This is functional structure of respiratory system and functions of respiratory system.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Так. I'm waiting for host options. I wanted to share with you one slide. Nope.
Ma'am, the class over or no?
No. I wanted to share with you one slide, but now I don't have host options. That's why waiting for host options. I
Okay,
can't
ma'am.
share. No code. Due to you didn't study nervous system in first semester, yes, it will be a bit hard. Yes, it will be harder to understand the regulation. But students, in every system we have a regulation, topic of regulation. So you must read nervous system by your own. Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Блин, нет. Yes, спасибо. Так. So students, here we have a nervous system, how it regulates, which part of nervous system regulates heart, yes, heart functions. So first of all, there should be receptor. Yes, in the nervous regulation, we have receptor, afferent pathway, control center, efferent pathway, and effector, yes. So receptors, we have two types of receptors, chemoreceptors and baroreceptors. They are located in the aortic arc and carotid sinus. This is, yes, here, you can see here. Yes, our carotid sinus, it is here. The place bifurcation of common carotid artery. Yes, it will bifurcates into external and internal carotid artery. Yes, external one supplies outer part of what? Outer part of head. Internal supplies inner, yes, inner region, brain, yes. And yes, in this case, we have baroreceptors and chemoreceptors located, and also here in the aortic arc here. Okay. So these receptors sense change in the blood pressure and in the partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and also pH of the blood. Yes, when there is a change, they send signals to the brain through these afferent neurons. These are afferent nerve fibers. These are 9 and 10. Okay, glossopharyngeal nerve, and 10 it is which nerve? 10 cranial nerve, it is which nerve? 9 it is glossopharyngeal, yes. 10 it is students. 10th cranial nerve, it is called how? Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
10th cranial nerve, it is called how? Students, do you know what is central nervous system and what is peripheral? Man. Central nervous system, it includes brain and spinal cord, yes? And peripheral nervous system, it includes nerves which rise from the brain and from the spinal cord. Yes, which are out of the brain and spinal cord. Yes, we have a lot of nerves which rise and innervate peripheral part, yes, of our body. And cranial nerves are that nerves which rise from the brain. We call them cranial nerves, and which take origin from spinal cord. We call spinal nerve. Yes, spinal nerves. So 10th cranial nerve. This is 10th and 9th cranial nerve. These are afferent pathways. Apparent through them, impulses spread from receptors, yes, to the brain. 9 it is glossopharyngeal nerve. 10 it is nervus vagus, yes. And in the brain, yes, here control centers are located in the medulla. Okay, in the medulla. Do you know what is medulla? Students, what is medulla? What is medulla oblongata? Yes, high blood pressure, for example, yes, they are sensed by these receptors, and impulses sent to the brain by 9th and 10th cranial nerve into the medulla. In the brain, we have part which is called medulla. Okay, and there, this is analyzed, yes, and then again impulses sent back to the heart by another neuron, which is called motor neuron. Yes, we have a motor neuron of nervus vagus and motor neurons from sympathetic system. This is spinal cord. Yes, from near spinal cord we have ganglia, which is called sympathetic trunk. Yes, from that rise nerves and innervate heart. So when we have high blood pressure, that will inhibit sympathetic nerves and stimulate nervus vagus. Yes, when nervus vagus stimulated, it has what kind of effect on heart? Nervus vagus. Nervus vagus has negative chromotropic effect, negative inotropic effect, and negative dromotropic effect. It means, yes, it will decrease heart rate, force of contractility, and decrease impulse velocity of impulse conduction. So, yes, there will be decrease in cardiac output, decrease in heart rate. Yes, all these will cause decreased blood pressure. Yes, and we said that it also inhibits sympathetic part. Yes, when it is increased, then there is no production of norepinephrine and epinephrine. Yes, and this means there is no production of neurotransmitters, release of neurotransmitters such as norepinephrine and epinephrine. And that's why they will not increase heart rate because there is no release of that. And also, yes, sympathetic part, it will inhibit production of adrenal medulla, and there also will be no production of epinephrine and norepinephrine by adrenal medulla. Understood? And how, yes, in the ends of nervus vagus, there will be release of acetylcholine receptor. Yes, it is acetylcholine, and it binds with the receptor in the heart, in the cardiac muscle, on the membrane of cardiac muscle fiber. These are, yes, they are called cholinergic receptors. And on the heart, we have muscarinic M2 receptors. Okay, and stimulation of these receptors, they will cause decreased heart rate, and it is called bradycardia. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And yes, about adrenergic receptors. Yes, adrenergic receptors are in the heart. They are called beta 1 receptors, and in the blood vessels, they are called alpha 1 receptors. Okay, adrenergic alpha 1 receptors and adrenergic beta 1 receptors. So we have also, yes, these are, you will be confused. You may not look for that. Yes, only alpha 1 and beta 1 receptors. Okay, alpha 1, they are located on the smooth muscles of blood vessels. Okay, and that's why stimulation of these blood vessels cause vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction, which leads to blood pressure. Yes, they are also located in the pupil, and that's why it will cause mydriasis. Closure of, yes, these are another. Okay, for us, it's only blood vessels. Yes, for us, important only blood vessels and heart. Okay, when these beta 1 receptors are stimulated by epinephrine and norepinephrine, yes, or adrenaline and noradrenaline, they are the same. So it will cause increase in heart rate, force of contractility, increased secretion of renin, etc. Okay, this is how your nervous system regulates functions of heart and blood vessels. Okay, understood, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And about humoral regulation, this is regulation through hormones. Yes, hormones. Hormones. What kind of hormones can affect heart and blood vessels? So some of them can affect blood vessels and heart directly. Another, they can affect blood volume. Yes, the amount of blood volume. And for example, catecholamines, these are epinephrine, norepinephrine, but in this case, they are not neurotransmitters, but they are hormones. Okay. Do you know the difference between neurotransmitter and hormone? Neurotransmitter, they are released from nerve endings. Yes. Hormones are secreted and circulate in the blood. Yes. So again, yes, adrenaline, noradrenaline, they are secreted by adrenal medulla and cause, yes, I have said, renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. Students, read this one also. What kind of system? Because we will meet this system in respiratory system also and in kidneys also. Okay, so make it clear from now. Yes. And what is atrial natriuretic peptide? Where it is released? And what does it do? And yes, antidiuretic hormone vasopressin. Also where it is released and what kind of effects does it cause? Okay, these are your home tasks. You talk. And students, about Moodle platform, also don't forget to solve questions from their quiz. Okay, it will affect your total mark. In Moodle, students, you know, evaluation system. Yes, students, from what we have 50. Yes, in first model you should take 50 points. Yes, 50. From this, students, 30 is taken from your attendance, from your works in the Moodle platform, and from your activeness in the practical classes. Okay, independent work, activeness, and only 20 is taken from your Moodle. I mean from module. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why yes, the common part. This is your Moodle quizzes and your practical classes.
Ma'am,
Okay.
do you give marks of our practice classes?
Yes, in every hour class, I'm asking you, and according to your answers, I put marks to you.
Ma'am, can you tell our marks of
No,
previous practice?
no, I can't. No.
Uh,
And these marks and plus marks from your quizzes on the Moodle platform, I will average. Yes, I will make average one. And yes, your attendance also important. Who has absence, more absence? Yes, they have to clear them. So totally, yes, there will be 30 from practical classes and 20 from your module quiz. In one module, there will be 40 questions. Okay, 40 questions.
okay, ma'am. When will be the first module, ma'am?
First module will be after respiratory system, I guess. It is near at the beginning of May or in the middle of May.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, that's
Ma'am,
all.
please share these PDFs in our group. Um, the physiology lecture don't send these PDFs.
Why? She must share. Yes, your lecture teacher should.
Ma'am, ma'am, we don't understand her very in proper manner because she teaches us very quickly and very fast.
Mm, but what she teaches very quickly, fast, but what practical classes, topics of practical classes are completed. Yes, then lecture topics. Okay, anyway, yes, I will send this PPT in the group, okay, in
Okay,
WhatsApp.
ma'am.
Okay, that's all. See you next class. Thanks, bye-bye.
Bye
Okay,
bye.
ma'am. Bye bye. Thank you for
Waka, ma'am.